Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. Let's do the whole darn weekend. March 16th, that's Saturday, National Freedom of Information Day, National Everything You Do Is Right Day. Heidi celebrates that every day. I'm never right. You're always right. Also, National Artichoke Hearts Day, National Panda Day, National Quilting Day, and National Corn Dog Day. Also, the 17th is National Corned Beef and Cabbage Day, and Sunday is also St. Patrick's Day.
I love St. Patrick's Day.
I think everybody loves St. Patrick's Day. I've got a guest on the program today. I couldn't save this for Movie Star Monday because we have Eddie Deacon for Movie Star Monday. So for this weekend program, I have Akinnuoye-Agbaje-TheFix. And I hope I said all of that right. He said you can also refer to him as Triple A. You may know him from some of the many amazing programs he's been on, like Game of Thrones. He's been on, he was Mr. Echo on Lost. He's got a new TV program coming out called The Fix. That's on Monday. That's why I wanted to talk to him. Do it now to talk about that, launching on ABC television. But he's been in a ton of movies as well. He's been in, let's see, what do we have for movies here? The remake of Annie. He was in Suicide Squad. He was in The Mummy Returns. He was in The Bourne Identity. He was in Get Rich or Die Tryin'. I mean, the list goes on and on and on.
Busy guy.
He's worked with Robert De Niro. He's worked with Will Smith. He's worked with The Rock on more than one occasion. I mean, this guy's the real deal. We're going to be chatting with him on today's program. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Do you have a pretty good sense of humor? You might like this. Early in the morning each day and every day, we share something weird to make people laugh at weirdgiftoftheday.com. You don't need to sign up for anything. You don't even need to spend a penny. Just follow the page on Facebook and get a smile to start each day when we share the weird gift of the day. Not on Facebook? That's okay. You can see the weird gifts on our website too. weirdgiftoftheday.com. That's weirdgiftoftheday.com.
Now, surveys and studies and such, brought to you by BetterCreditCards.net. A survey found the sales of safe rooms and emergency bunkers have skyrocketed. They've steadily risen in the United Kingdom. So there's stuff going on over there where they're wanting safe rooms and emergency bunkers. So wonder what that could be. Stuff. Anyway. This is surveys and studies and such, brought to you by BetterCreditCards.net.
Is your credit card a good fit for you? How did you even get the card you have now? Was it mailed to you? Those are usually the worst cards. They typically have higher fees and rates. Someone has to pay all that postage to mail out millions of cards every day. If you like a better credit card, check out the website BetterCreditCards.net. This is a great place to find the cards that are usually a better fit for you. BetterCreditCards.net. That's BetterCreditCards.net.
And this is Your Brain on Drugs, brought to you by TimeForRehab.com. And it says here, investigators reported that an Arizona woman dressed as a nun carrying a Bible on her lap was arrested when she was searched, and she and her husband had more than 8 pounds of fentanyl. So they had a bunch of drugs. 53-year-old Esther Gomez de Aguilar and her spouse were pulled over while they were traveling on the interstate. The couple's vehicle was stopped due to an equipment violation and moving violation. So they were doing something wrong and they had something broken. Upon contacting the passenger, the officer noticed several suspicious circumstances that prompted him to search the vehicle. He frisked the couple, and that's when he found in her purse 4 bundles of suspected fentanyl pills, 2 other bundles of fentanyl powder concealed under her clothing, a total of 8.5 pounds altogether.
Wow.
So they got themselves in a little bit of trouble for possession of narcotics for sale and transportation of narcotics for sale. Yeah, that's what happens when your brain is on drugs.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com. News hounds out there know the name Tucker Carlson. Well, he made it in the news this last week. He's been blasted on Twitter for refusing to apologize for something he said a long, long time ago. And I guess, I'm okay with him not apologizing. I'm
so sick of this. People going back, 10, 15, 20 years and saying, apologize.
And I don't know exactly what he said, so I really don't care what he said, but it was a long time ago. The tweet that I saw, he said, you want to know who I am? You want to know what I think? Turn on my show and listen to me.
Yep.
I talk for an hour prompted every day.
Yeah.
You can listen to what I'm saying if you want to know
ridiculous.
who I am and what I think.
So sick of this
Yeah,
garbage.
Some people are getting all worked up over it. And Real Housewife Felicity Huffman and Full House star Lori Loughlin busted in a college cheating scandal where the parents paid bribes.
That is really interesting, isn't it?
Here's the thing: federal authorities are investigating. This is the biggest college admission scam ever. And it's not just these two. There's a bunch of people involved where people are paying bribes to get their kids into college. You think this is new? Think about how
not
many...
at all. They're just caught. Just like when Martha Stewart went to prison. It wasn't new,
but think about
she
this.
got caught.
Think about how many college campuses have buildings that are named after someone because they gave a giant endowment. And then, oh, hey, look at that. Their kid went to school there. So don't act shocked. I just think it's...
No, nobody's shocked, I don't think.
No, there's a lot of people surprised.
I think they're surprised that it was, the lady. Yeah.
Oh, I get that, but
and more than anything, the Full House lady.
Lori,
people are like, "Oh, she's so wholesome and
sweetheart."
Yeah.
And there was even an episode where she was telling Jesse not to do that. He was trying to bribe the people to let the kids in to a daycare. Do you remember that episode?
I do not.
That was an actual episode.
Are you sure?
It was indeed. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Here's a fun trip back to the 80s.
Surely you can't be serious.
Join us in Las Vegas for 80s in the Desert May 3rd and 4th. Hang out with other 80s fans.
International language of love.
Meet several 80s icons from the movies and rock out to awesome music from the 80s. Flock of Seagulls, The Romantics, Mr. Mister, Scandal with Patti Smythe, Thomas Dolby, Pretty Poison, and more. See the full list of bands and icons at radiotravelgroup.com. That's radiotravelgroup.com.
Now your scoop of the day, brought to you by BetterCreditCards.net. BuzzFeed News. I didn't even know they were still doing their thing. They let a bunch of people go, but apparently they're still around. They're reporting the U.S. government is going to begin scanning people's faces at every airport. So that's according to BuzzFeed. The same people who told me that my dog might be a wizard. So
well,
I don't know.
They've said a lot of things
They've
that
got
they weren't supposed to say.
The top 10 signs your dog could be a wizard. Thanks, BuzzFeed. Del Taco restaurant chain is now going to start selling French fry scented soap. Who needs that?
Who would want that?
I don't know. And why would it be at Del Taco?
And I love French fries, but I wouldn't want...
You don't want to go around smelling like them?
Yeah, no.
Me neither. It's not... What is there a food that you would like to have that scent?
No.
Yeah, but
that I would want to smell like? No.
Okay, then why do we have coconut scented soap in our bathroom? We have coconut scented soap. I just saw that.
Well, that smells like you're on a vacation. It smells like suntan lotion.
That's food, Heidi. So don't you tell me, oh, these crazy people who buy food-scented soaps.
That's different because there's apricot. I mean, that's different. That's not like mashed potatoes and gravy and pot roast. So, no, it's very, very, very different.
Says Heidi. All right, moving on. Study conducted in Greenland.
It smell like tuna fish sandwich.
Love that scent. A study conducted in Greenland found that a massive solar storm that hit the Earth in 660 BC, so this is like in Old Testament times, if that happened now, it would wipe out our communication technology. So that would happen. It would just, all of our phones and our satellites and our infrastructure. Having Facebook wonky for just part of the day, was it Wednesday of this last week? People were going insane. Did you notice that? Mm-hmm. And nobody knows exactly what happened. I don't know. Maybe it's out. I haven't seen it anywhere, but they were baffled this week as to what happened. Facebook and Instagram were both having major glitches where the sites weren't working. People were going insane. So can you imagine if we couldn't communicate at all? That would be really bad. Video has gone viral of an Ohio police officer who used a piece of pizza to trick a runaway pig into getting into his patrol car.
Oh, fun.
And you should read all the pig jokes. I think that's really just low-hanging fruit and mean and sad. But, it was an actual real pig that was being lured into a police car with a slice of pizza. So
that would work on me.
It's actually how Heidi gets me to come in the studio. What are we doing? Hey, follow me. Hey, here you go. Follow me into the studio. Time to do a radio show. I'll give you the pizza if you're good. And a giant wolf that was dropped off at a Florida kill shelter has become a viral sensation after being rescued by a local sanctuary. So here's my question. Who dropped off a wild wolf? And who isn't that dangerous? Wouldn't you think?
I don't know.
I guess I don't know. Maybe it's a tame wolf. Right?
I have no idea.
I have no idea. And one last story here. Italy has banned unvaccinated children from attending public school. So they're saying you have the choice. If you want to not vaccinate, that's fine.
Your kid, that's
you just
fine, but they can't
go
come
to
here.
public school. So if you want to not do that, you're going to have to homeschool if you live in Italy. There are people in probably all countries, I suppose, that are on board with the whole not vaccinating thing. And there's other people who do. I thought it was really sad where there was an outbreak of a disease that would have been cured by the vaccines, and there was somebody that their child got really, really, really sick, and they were online looking for help, and everybody was attacking them because they didn't vaccinate the kid. But I'm going, guys, hey, they've got a sick child. Maybe now is not a good time to attack them over a decision they made. They're probably second-guessing that decision because their child was very, very ill. But anyway, I think that we just need to be a little more sensitive and not so mean to each other, especially online, which is crazy. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Do you have IRS tax problems? Are they keeping you up at night? Afraid to open your own mail or even answer your telephone? If your tax problems are affecting your family life, you need to know you have options. You have rights, and we'll make sure you get them. Call and speak with Mike Habib, the tax expert who will handle your case at 877-78-TAXES or online at myirs.taxrelief.com. That's 877-78-TAXES or myirs.taxrelief.com.
Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show this weekend. Our guest today is Adewale-Akinnuoye-Agbaje, and he's got a new program on ABC television that actually premieres this Monday, March 18th. But you may know him from some of these. Listen to the stuff that he's been a part of. Holy cow. He's been a part of Game of Thrones. He's been a part of Suicide Squad. He was Killer Croc on that. He's also been in the movie Concussion. He's been in the movie G.I. Joe, Rise of Cobra. He's also been in the movie Get Rich or Die Tryin', The Bourne Identity. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. Mummy Returns, a ton of stuff. Also in a bunch of great television programs. He was on ABC television in the past on a program called Lost. You might know him from Oz. You might know him from, again, so many things. But right now, welcome to the program. Adewale, how you doing, sir?
Hey, man, John, I'm doing good. Good to speak to you.
Well, it's good to visit with you as well, and I see you've got a new program called The Fix coming to ABC TV starting on Monday, this Monday.
Yeah, you're about to get your fix of the fix, man. Teamed up on this one, John, with Master Croc, former deputy DA, and people would probably know her from prosecuting attorney in the O.J. Simpson trial. And this story is really inspired by some of her personal experiences on that. The show kicks off with the end verdict of not guilty, and then from there it becomes a fiction. And we jump cut to 8 years later. I play the character of Sebby Johnson, who's this mega movie star, charismatic man who actually is suspected of killing his current partner. And so we go into the story, did he do it again or not? And it becomes a bullet train ride with this kind of suspenseful thriller. But it is very much fiction from that point of view.
And you're no stranger to ABC television. You worked with them on a program called Lost, but you've done a bunch of other television programs, Game of Thrones, and also a ton of movies. I look at this list of movies, and holy cow, it's a great list. So what is the difference when you're working with a television program or a movie? Is there a big difference?
I mean, as an actor, it's all work. It's all character-driven and story-driven. But, obviously, logistically, the format is different. I think with TV, the benefit and the beauty is that you get to flesh out the characters that you're playing. With a movie, you've got 90 minutes and you're competing with maybe 10 other characters in the movie, to flesh out that character. But, like with Fix now, we've got 10 episodes to really flesh out the full arc of Sebby Johnson. So we go into his family background and see how the case impacts him from that angle. We go into his mental state and also his relationship with his defense and the prosecution. So you really get to, layer the character a lot more. And I think the audience get to enjoy a broader, more in-depth, detailed character.
Again, visiting right now with Adewale, also known as Triple A. His new program, The Fix, is on ABC television on Monday, March 18th. That's this coming Monday. But I look at your list of things you've done. It is amazing. The movies and television programs you've had a chance to be a part of. If you could talk to a 10-year-old version of yourself, Adewale, do you think your 10-year-old self would believe all of the opportunities you've had and all of the success you've had?
To be honest, not really. As a young kid, I always knew I'd be out there. I just didn't know in what way it would manifest. So, I had a lot of ambition and just went for it. But obviously, to be in the movies, as you said, alongside some of the stars that I actually grew up watching, it was a real treat. And, it is work at the end of the day, but, at the end of that day, I can sit back and say, hey, yeah, I did that. So it's a rewarding path and one that I'm glad to be on, man. And I've been very fortunate in the choices of projects that have been available to me.
Again, the new TV show is called The Fix. It's on this Monday, March 18th on ABC TV. Adewale, thank you so much, sir.
Thanks, buddy, and enjoy the show. I think it's going to be a good one for you.
Again, the new TV program is called The Fix. Executive producer Marcia Clark. And again, we've been talking with one of the main stars of the program, Adewale, also known as Triple A. And you'll have a chance to see him in The Fix starting Monday, the 18th of March on ABC TV. We'll throw a link with all of the details in our show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
Is your credit card a good fit for you? How did you even get the card you have now? Was it mailed to you? Those are usually the worst cards. They typically have higher fees and rates. Someone has to pay all that postage to mail out millions of cards every day. If you like a better credit card, check out the website bettercreditcards.net. This is a great place to find the cards that are usually a better fit for you. Bettercreditcards.net. That's bettercreditcards.net.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
A hummingbird weighs less than a penny. Says a certain species of hummingbird. It's called a Cuban bee hummingbird, a colorful creature that is given that name because it is often mistaken for a honeybee, but it's actually just a little Cuban bee hummingbird. It's also called the penny hummingbird due to its light weight. So you can call it Cuban bee or you can call it penny.
I love hummingbirds. They're so beautiful.
I had never seen one until I was married to you. I'd never seen a hummingbird.
Really?
Never. And your grandparents had a hummingbird feeder.
Yeah.
And I remember sitting at their house looking out the window. I was like, what in the world? That's what a hummingbird looks like? I had never seen one. I don't know why. I just had never seen one. Never paid attention much. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Here's a fun trip back to the 80s.
Surely you can't be serious.
Join us in Las Vegas for 80s in the Desert, May 3rd and 4th. Hang out with other 80s fans.
International language of love.
Meet several 80s icons from the movies and rock out to awesome music from the 80s. Flock of Seagulls, The Romantics, Mr. Scandal with Patti Smythe, Thomas Dolby, Pretty Poison, and more. See the full list of bands and icons at radiotravelgroup.com. That's radiotravelgroup.com.
Now, fear this. Time for fun with phobias. Heidi, tell me, what is this one? Diplophobia. DiplophobiA. Diplophobia.
I have no idea what this one would be.
It is fear of double vision. Diplophobia.
Oh.
have you ever had double vision?
Yes.
Was it you when you were drinking?
Yes.
Okay, I was just kind of wondering. If you're afraid of that, I have an idea. Maybe you don't drink so much. Just a thought. Fun with phobias.
Do you have a pretty good sense of humor? You might like this. Early in the morning each day and every day, we share something weird to make people laugh at WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. You don't need to sign up for anything. You don't even need to spend a penny. Just follow the page on Facebook and get a smile to start each day when we share the Weird Gift of the Day. Not on Facebook? That's okay. You can see the weird gifts on our website too. WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. That's WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com.
Now some weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. A Florida woman was arrested after deputies said she threatened people inside a hair salon with a machete. That happened last Monday. It's a sad story. 43-year-old Tracy Denise Gregor Sirleaf, she had a lot of names there. She was displaying erratic behavior inside a Jean Nicole hair salon, and this is in Florida. It says the report comes out that she became unhinged, Says here she collected her things and went to the parking lot before returning a few minutes later and throwing herself angrily onto the glass storefront.
Whoa.
Then she went to the car, returned again with a machete, and started swinging it in the air. People inside called 911 as she approached the interior of the business. The owner locked the salon, feared for her life.
Why? What was she upset about?
I don't know. When the police got there, she ignored commands for a while to let the machete drop on the ground and step away. Deputy took the machete into evidence. Says they were interviewing the victim. The suspect defecated in the patrol car.
Oh, that's lovely.
While they were talking to her.
What on earth was she upset about?
I'm thinking maybe there's some sort of imbalance here. I don't know. Because you don't do that kind of stuff. It doesn't really say why she was mad.
You're going to go down, though. What an epic way to go down.
I didn't even know really how to say that. I hope I said the right word.
And coming at a hair salon with a machete?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's amazing.
No, it's not.
That's Conan the Barbarian stuff.
Don't encourage that, Heidi. That's why we call this Today's Weird News. Brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. Now your moment of duh, brought to you by FunkyMonkeyShirts.com. A man is behind bars at the Allegheny County Jail after accusations that he choked another man for singing Christmas songs. 9 a.m. Monday, state trooper was waved down, told about a possible medical emergency. He got to the scene. Investigators there said that a guy in a minivan was parked on the shoulder. Two men on the side of the road were on the guardrail or the guide rail. And one of the victims, or the victim there, was a passenger, 25-year-old Clayton Lucas. He told them that while they were driving, he was singing Christmas songs, and the driver began choking him. Apparently, he wasn't in a festive mood. And he kept telling him to stop. In the complaint, the victim said he went on. He kept singing. And when they choked him, he restricted the air and the blood from around his neck to the point that he was about to pass out.
Then quit singing.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure he did at that point. They noticed the victim's neck was red and his eyes were bloodshot. So the driver is facing multiple charges. So there you go. Don't taunt people.
Well, yeah. I mean, you want to sing so bad that you're going to, I mean, good Lord, man.
Jingle bells, jingle bells. Get over here. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Is your credit card a good fit for you? How did you even get the card you have now? Was it mailed to you? Those are usually the worst cards. They typically have higher fees and rates. Someone has to pay all that postage to mail out millions of cards every day. If you like a better credit card, check out the website bettercreditcards.net. This is a great place to find the cards that are usually a better fit for you. Bettercreditcards.net. That's bettercreditcards.net.
Now, these three things. Heidi, tell me what do these three things have in common? You ready?
I'm ready.
You're not going to get it. Body, life, crossing. What are they? Because there's another word that has to go behind each one of them. You don't like those. Body, life, crossing. I'm trying to think if I can help
Guard?
you. Yes, you got it. Bodyguard, lifeguard, crossing guard.
There
wow.
you go.
I'm impressed.
Why?
Just because you got one. These three things. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news. It comes your way courtesy of radiotravelgroup.com. Take a listen to this. I think this is kind of cool. After success of the first 3D printed home in the United States, 50 more homes will now be built using this technology. And these will be built for people who don't currently have a home or can't afford a home.
I think that's great.
And have you seen how this thing works? This 3D printer?
I've seen a 3D printer.
So this is a giant 3D printer, and I don't know that you really call it a 3D printer. That's what they're calling it. It's the same type of technology, but it's squirting concrete So they'll mix up cement, they'll make a batch of concrete, and then it goes around and it pours it in a certain pattern, and it builds the walls, and it goes up, 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 and then, they put in the windows and the doors, and they set a little roof on the top. But it's really kind of an interesting way to do things. And it took just 24 hours to build this. And this is in Austin, Texas. The masterminds are now working on constructing 50 more homes for people in rural Latin America, managed by a Silicon Valley-based nonprofit News Story in collaboration with Icon, a tech company. They designed the specialized 3D printer. Once the construction of this first-of-its-kind neighborhood is completed, they're going to use it to house families who make less than $200 per month. So it'll be available for people who are on, really tight income guidelines. So it's a very speedy and inexpensive way to build a home, according to them. It's facilitated by the Vulcan 2, a 3D printer designed specifically for building cheaper homes. After its printing predecessor made headlines for building the first home in Austin, researchers spent some more time, the next year actually, refining and working on this to make it even better. So it's a cool idea.
It is a cool idea.
I wonder if that's going to catch on. It's a phenomenal concept, and I think it's cool. If you want to read all about it, I've got a link in the show notes at johnandheidishow.com. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great weekend. Thanks for listening.